Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Zach about to attack another review. Today we're going to be doing episode 1 and 2 of Loki. I'm going to break down the good and I'm going to break down the bad. Let's get into it. Loki takes place right after the events of Endgame, where we saw the Avengers go back to 2012 to try to retrieve the Tesseract, and they failed, and Loki got it and transported out. We see where he goes. He ends up in like the Sahara Desert or some desert, and is picked up by a group called the TVA, the Time Variance Association. They're in charge of stopping anyone that is messing with the natural flow of time. And apparently Loki was not supposed to escape. So they pick up Loki and they introduce him to this brand new world that he didn't even know about, this brand new power. It explains how everything is not a free will. Everything is predicted. Every time it doesn't go in the order that the TVA wants it to go, they have a task force that goes out and pick out what they call these variants, these people that mess with the time or step out of the natural timeline, and they bring them in, and usually either they erase them or they put them back where they were supposed to be. And obviously Loki is the new target. What I really like about this show, and I'm really in love with this show right now. I'm going to start off with what I like and what's good about it. The music. I think one thing about the MCU and most of the movies and the television so far, the only iconic music I think of is the Avengers theme and the different variations that we've gotten of it. You know, obviously everyone knows the Avengers theme. But other than that, the other themes from the other movies are not really that iconic. They're not really that memorable unless somebody points them out. But the music in this show is like a character on itself. When Loki is doing something mischievous, it has this very like wizardy, kind of maybe Harry Potter vibe to it, where you feel like he's sneaking around and doing something bad. When something epic is happening, the music gets real loud and orchestral. Like it just fits the mood, and it kind of tells your brain like this is what's happening. This is how you're supposed to feel, and it's like some of the most epic music I've seen in a Marvel project so far. So I really love that aspect of the show so far. The first 2 episodes. Another thing I like is obviously Tom Hiddleston is Loki and Owen Wilson is Mobius. These 2 guys are carrying the show right now, and their chemistry is off the charts. They're back and forth going back because Mobius works for the TVA. He's one of their the field commanders, and he's the one that's in charge of Loki right now. Loki thinks he can fool this guy, and this other guy thinks he's 10 steps ahead because he knows everything about Loki, or at least he thinks he knows everything about Loki. Their interaction is really great. He's really breaking down Loki in a way that we haven't seen before, and we're getting to see parts of the character that we haven't gotten to see previously fully. We got little glimpses of it in other movies, but because he's always a supporting character, we don't get the full thing. We don't get the full character growth or how he feels, what makes him tick. Most of the first episode is about Mobius trying to figure out what makes Loki tick. And at first you're thinking, oh, maybe he's trying to help him. Maybe he's trying to make Loki understand Loki so he can use him, bring him into the TVA, and, you know, just be a part of the group. But he has ulterior motives, and you find out by the end of the first episode what they are, and it's pretty cool. What I also love is Tom Hiddleston. He's always been a great Loki. He's a fan favorite, but here he's really knocking it out of the park. Just like Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda, and Bucky and Sebastian Stan, and Sam Wilson as Bucky and Falcon, Captain America. He's another one that's just knocking it out of the park. He used to be a supporting character, now being able to do things on their own. And the one thing that's different from this show than those other 2 shows, Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision, is that I think the first two episodes of those series wasn't super strong. They were interesting, well produced, funny here and there. Obviously, WandaVision was really weird, but I think the first 2 episodes for Loki are very, very strong, very, very interesting, very, very fun. It's kind of what I wanted from the Thor movies all this time, 1, 2, and 3. Something I always wanted from the Thor series and every character involved is the space opera aspect of the character. It's supposed to be Loki and Thor and those characters as Guardians are supposed to be similar to Star Wars. Like, it's supposed to be a space opera. It's supposed to be operatic, epic, drama, soap opera, but, you know, with explosions and powers, and you're really thinking about life. That's the type of stuff that happens in the comics, and we didn't really get that in the movies. The first 2 movies were too dealing with him on Earth, and then the last one was more about the jokes. This one, it's fun. The series so far, the first episode, it has its jokes, and I did laugh throughout some of it, but that's not the main hook. It's the mystery, it's the drama, it's the soap opera drama, and Tom Hiddleston's performance. He's a variant. He's not the Loki we've seen that died in the Infinity War. He gets to see all the things that he didn't know happens to him in the future. It kind of catches him up to the point of the Loki that we know now. Emotional response was amazing that Loki had. And it really draws you into the character even more. And he talks about what makes him tick, why he does what he does, why he's so mischievous. And it really makes him very endearing, even more than he already was. So, and it makes him a great lead. And then on the other side of it is Mobius, Owen Wilson's character. When they first cast him in this, I wasn't too sure. I like Owen Wilson, but I'm used to him being in like just silly comedies. But he's playing a great, serious character here. He's very witty, and he plays off Tom Hiddleston's Loki really well. But he has his own personality, and he most of it is him talking to Loki. But the times we get to see him interact with other characters, you really get a sense of who he is. He's not some servant to the TVA who just believes everything. It's just all he knows, so that he follows along. But a little bit of him is really curious about what's going on, and Loki plays off of that. So that it's a really great dynamic there. A big aspect I like of episode two of the series, after we go have the back and forth between Loki and Mobius. Episode 1, him trying to catch him up to everything, telling him that they need him for a particular mission to catch a particular variant. This is a non-spoiler review, so I'm not going to spoil who the variant is. But in episode 2, we jump right into Loki being in the field. And what I really liked about this episode was a conversation. And like I said, the chemistry between them is really good. A conversation between Mobius and Loki, where they kind of talking about, does Mobius really believe in everything that the TVA stands for? Is everything set in a straight path? Do we not, the Marvel Universe, have free will? Is everything just supposed to happen? And Mobius is saying yes. It's not about setting things on a good or bad path. It's just making sure it goes the way the timekeepers, these mysterious timekeepers, think it should go. These people that Mobius has never met. And the way the conversation goes, it seemed like it was a conversation about religion. And it was masked in a way where it's not offensive, but I caught on to it, and I thought that it was a really deep conversation. It really intrigued me. So you're getting the jokes, the wittiness, the mischievous Loki playing tricks and acting a fool, also being serious at the same time, because Loki can go both ways, but you're also getting these deep conversations and the drama and the action in both these episodes. And the visually, the show looks amazing. All the VFX, the CGI, everything looks great. All the little nods to the comics, the background to Roxxon and other things in Loki's past, and maybe even Agent Carter. I'm not too sure if that was her or not. Is all really interesting and held my attention really well throughout both episodes. And episode 2, the last 10 minutes was so epic and amazing. And I when I saw the first episode, I predicted a certain character who the variant was probably going to be, and it ended up being that person. It was revealed even better than I thought it could be. The execution was really great, and I think this is going to affect the overall Marvel universe in a really, really unique way. Nothing's perfect, so I'm going to talk about the bad, but it's really nitpicks because it's only the first 2 episodes. I think that even though I like what they're doing with Loki, showing a different emotional side, it's really like pulling on the emotional heartstrings with us. It's like, oh, he's seeing certain things. Obviously, we know from the movies what Loki's family went through. The same thing Thor went through. His mother dying, his father dying, Ragnarok exploding, and almost all the people being gone. And he didn't experience any of those things. So we're seeing it in real time. And obviously you connect with that, and you see it in Tom Hiddleston's performance. But I hope that there's more to it than that, than him just being affected by the things that happened to a different Loki and him catching up. Hopefully his character grows more, because I feel like every character in the other series, Wanda, Cap, and Bucky, all grew by the end, and I hope that they find a way to get Loki to that point as well. But it's just a minor nitpick. We have 4 more episodes to go. We'll see where they go. I trust whoever's writing and producing this, because I think these first 2 episodes are great. Questions I have, because of the conversations that Mobius has had with Loki, and then also the person that gives him his orders. I'm wondering if the TVA is who they actually say they are. Drop in the comments below what you think is going on. If this is a fake organization and they have all these people doing something maybe devious, and Loki is going to expose it. And you know, everybody's talking about, you know, the Infinity Stones being at the TVA and what's going on with there. I don't want to spoil exactly if you didn't get to see the first episode. Is all this fake? Because at first, with the first episode, I was like, wow, this is incredible because I know a little bit of the TVA from the comics. But because of the way things are like going on, and I'm wondering, and the way this variant is attacking the TVA, I'm wondering if this is a fake organization, because I know that they're bringing in Kang the Conqueror, and I know that he messes with time, and he's a time traveler that comes back in time, messes with things to try to put things into his image. And one of the timekeepers they show kind of looked like what the character design could be. So I'm really interested in what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think maybe Kang the Conqueror is behind this and Loki's going to meet him in this series? I know that Kang the Conqueror is supposed to be an Ant-Man, but he could also be introduced here first. How do you guys feel about who the variant is and how it's somebody from the Loki's comics, a fan favorite? And the little kid that was in the first episode, do you think that could also be a fan favorite character from the Loki series? Please let me know how you feel about the series below. And I'm going to talk about my verdict now. I rate things on a must-watch, watchable, or pass. I think that if you're a Marvel fan and you're definitely a fan of Loki, if you're a fan of Star Wars, I think this is a must-watch. I think it has a little bit of something for everybody. It's fun, it's funny, it's charming, but it also can get serious, has good action. The action's not amazing or anything like that, but it's really good action. And really good VFX to the point where you're wondering, like, wow, did they really build all these things? It's really good. If you're not really a fan of the MCU, you know, pass. Don't check the show out. There's no point if you're not a fan of the MCU. If you're just slightly curious, you're not really wanting to watch every show of every character, and you weren't really caring about Loki, I think this is an opportunity to jump in, check out the first episode, see how you feel. If you don't like it, probably just skip it. Just let me know how you guys feel. Is this a must-watch for you? Did you watch it and you're like, or this is a total pass? Please like, subscribe, check the description below for my social media handles and my Patreon. Please hit the notification bell so you can stay tuned for the rest of my videos. And peace.